Hello and welcome to today's speed build. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining us, and if not, then welcome back. So today I am super excited because I am building in the world of Copperdale, which is one of my favorite worlds in terms of like the vibe and the atmosphere, and also in terms of like packs. I love the high school years pack so much, but I have not built here in a long time, and I don't build here very often because I find that the lots are very small. I was actually talking about this in my Discord, which by the way, if you want to join, please feel free. There is a link in the description. We just talk about like lots of fun stuff, builds, we talk about like gameplay, things like that. So if you want to join it, please feel free. But yeah, I found that the lots are very small in Copperdale, and so I kind of struggle with building on them. But I really wanted to build a kind of like rundown, more realistic family home. And this was something that was asked of me to build. Someone had asked if I would be able to do a more realistic build, and I this is something that I've wanted to do for a long time, but I feel like I put myself under a lot of pressure sometimes, and then I'm like, oh my god, I can't do it, and I overthink everything. But I decided today to just go ahead and do it and just build it, and I didn't think about it too much. I just built it and let it come to me, and honestly, I'm so happy with how this turned out. So as you can see, it's a pretty generic looking home, but it ends up looking kind of worn down, a little bit in need of TLC. It kind of looks like it's been neglected, and there is a story behind this. I did create a little bit of a storyline, which I think is super cute, and I really hope you guys like this. But yeah, the idea behind this house is it's supposed to feel a little bit neglected. It's definitely run down. It by no means is supposed to feel like a super dirty and dingy place. I didn't want it to come across as like it's just really unkept and like really dirty. I didn't want that vibe. I just wanted it to kind of be known that, you know, it maybe is neglected a little bit. It's not cared for the way that, you know, it should be, and yeah, it's just in need of a little bit of TLC. So that's the vibe that we've went for, and I really love how it turns out. So you can see me playing about with a few different things at first, because originally I really wanted to shift some of the window boxes over and have it give this kind of realistic look, but they unfortunately with the tool mod just wouldn't do that. So I ended up, you know, doing some different things. I tried to do these little wooden boxes, which I do end up getting rid of, just because I felt like they were a little bit much. But I do end up using the tool mod a little bit later on, just to kind of get things in the front yard looking a little bit nicer. The front yard, the front garden, whatever you want to call it. And just to have them look a little bit more realistic and give a little bit more of a story. But yeah, there is a little bit of a dynamic behind this, so I am going to talk about that just a little bit. So this is this house originally belongs to an older guy. So this, I'm thinking probably like a senior, I'm thinking like an elder in The Sims. He's been living here for a very long time. I think that he used to live here maybe with his wife, who unfortunately isn't here anymore, but yeah, he used to live here with her, and now he lives here alone. And yeah, he's just not been the best at keeping it you know, nice and keeping it fresh, and he's kind of been struggling a little bit with keeping it nice. And I think that he almost doesn't really care too much about how it looks. He's just like, you know, whatever, I'm the only one that has to stay here, I don't need to worry about it. And of course he is a bit older, so I think he's incapable of keeping it the way he would like, even if he wanted to. And so I decided that a cool storyline, or a sweet storyline, would be that his daughter, who is I would say she's probably in like her 30s, has decided to move in with him. And she's actually a single mum. So she does have a younger son, and her son is like a child. So I was thinking probably around 9 years old. And he is also going to be moving in here with like his mum and then also his granddad. And he's just going to be keeping him company. And so is she. They are both just going to be keeping him company because yeah, he's not really had anyone, and I feel like although he might have family that visits, he just isn't able to like do stuff that he wants to on his own, and he kind of needs that little bit of extra help. So yeah, his daughter has decided to come and help out a little bit, and so this ends up being a really like sweet dynamic. I feel like it's just so cute. I had so much fun coming up with this dynamic, and I am so excited to get to the interior and show you all of that. But as you can see, we've put boxes out front, so I was thinking that these are her boxes and she's using these to kind of like get herself moved in. I was going to add like a moving van, but this is a very small lot, as I was saying, so it didn't really work out that way. I felt like it would just be a little bit too much, so I ended up just adding the boxes. Maybe she didn't live very far anyways, or maybe, you know, she is able to just bring them over in her car or something like that. And yeah, she decided to bring them over and, you know, get herself home moved in, which of course the dad, like her dad, is, I think he's really happy about it. I think that he, I feel like he really needed someone, but he just didn't want to like be an inconvenience, and he didn't want anyone to feel like they had to come and visit and they had to come and stay with him. And I think like having that little bit of reassurance that, you know, they want to be there and they want to care for him is like, I think it just means the world to him. And I think he's honestly like already feeling a bit better. He's already like doing a bit more because he feels a little bit more motivated. And yeah, of course, like his daughter is going to be helping him around and helping him to do anything that he needs help with, so that's really lovely as well. But yeah, so this house, it ends up having 2 bedrooms, and of course the mum and like her son are moving in, so they do have a bedroom which I imagine was probably just a spare bedroom like before, or possibly maybe like the gran would have had like a separate bedroom and maybe that was her room, but I decided to have it so that there's still 2 bedrooms, but the mum and the son are kind of like sharing a bedroom, which I feel like is, I mean, maybe a little bit annoying if the sim, like the younger sim, is to get a bit older. Like at the moment he's just a child, so he probably doesn't mind too much, but obviously when he's to become like a teenager, it might be a little bit of an issue. But I'm guessing by that time he, you know, they might be moved out, or they might move into like a bigger place. I don't know. I think that for the moment it works. Maybe like they're able to get a little expansion or something going on. I'm not too sure. I didn't think about it too deeply, but at the moment they do share a room. And I think the granddad really likes staying in this house because it does remind him of like the memories with his wife and stuff. So yeah, I feel like that is nice for him as well. And that's part of the reason that they're still wanting to like stay here and renovate it a little bit and just keep that kind of like spirit alive, you know? But oh, by the way, you might see me saving the game a lot. It kept like sticking, which was really scaring me, because when the Sims game sticks, you know, like, oh no, something is happening right now. And you just have that feeling in your gut that like this is gonna freeze, and I've not saved the game in about 3 hours. So yeah, you might see me saving the game a lot. That is why. I usually cut it out, but I feel like I saved it so many times that I just I couldn't edit them all out. But yeah, that's a little bit about the storyline. I will talk a bit more about it once we move on to like the interior. But I'm going to talk a bit about like the exterior and what I'm doing. So you can see I've added all these little moving boxes, which I do end up kind of toning back a wee bit, like just a little bit. I end up making some of the boxes a bit smaller and just kind of switching up how things are placed, because I felt like everything was in a kind of line and I didn't want it to look like that. I wanted it to feel a little bit more random and kind of like unintentional. So you'll see me kind of switch it up a little bit. And I also added a little side fence which has some extra bins in it. We have some bins around the front, and then we also have some bins round at the side. And then round on this side of the house, we just have like a little path with some fencing, which I just decided to add in as a little something because, as I say, like this is a very small lot, so I feel like when it comes to actually decorating it, it can be a little bit tricky because you're trying to like fit as much as you can, but you don't want it to look too cramped. And yeah, I don't know, I definitely struggle with these types of lots, but I'm honestly really happy with how this turned out. So please let me know what you think of this, because I am so happy that I did more of a realistic, I don't know if realistic is the word, like maybe this isn't so much realistic, but it's definitely run down. It has more of a realistic tone to it. So yeah, please let me know if you know you like seeing stuff like this, and let me know what you can think and stuff, because I really like how it turned out, but I want to hear what you guys think as well. But anyway, here is me now moving on to the interior. So as you can see, it's a very small interior, which I expected, but we've got the living room, which we start with, and right next to the living room is like a hallway, which then leads on to a kitchen, that then leads on to like your bathroom, and then there also ends up being a laundry room on the downstairs as well, because I had like an extra space and it was too small for me to make it a bedroom. So I decided to just go ahead and make it a laundry room, which I feel like is, I don't know, it works really nicely with this house. I honestly love this house. I love how it turned out. I'm very, very happy with it. Like, I'm so excited to share it. It gives me kind of like an old-timey vibe, which honestly I love, because I feel like because it's made for obviously an older sim, it's made for like a senior slash like a elder. I feel like because of that, it makes so much sense that the house maybe is a little bit more, I don't know, kind of old-fashioned, old-timey, because yeah, they're not keeping up with like the modern times and stuff. So yeah, I really like how this turned out. I definitely went for more like oldish looking objects and items, so hopefully you like how that turns out. I think it looks pretty sweet. But this is the living room we're doing right now, and in terms of color scheme, I ended up just going for like dark woods. I went for some green sofas, which I thought looked so cute. I also do end up adding like extra cushions to the seats as well. Now I will say this is maybe what takes away from the kind of like realistic vibe. I did clutter up this house a lot, and you know me, I always clutter up houses. It's my favorite thing to do. Unless I'm on a budget, I will clutter up a house as much as I can. And so I feel like if we're talking about realism, maybe that takes away from it. But I don't know. In a way, I feel like cluttered is also very realistic. But my issue is when I clutter things up, I have this feeling of I can't have a space just be a space. Like, a space hates to see me coming, because I just fill it up with a load of rubbish. And I feel like I'm just so bad for that, because realistically in The Sims, like when I'm cluttering up these spaces, in real life they probably wouldn't be full up. Like in real life they would just be a space, but I feel the need to kind of clutter them up. So yeah, that might be something that takes away from realism, but I think it still is a very cool vibe. I really like it, and I feel like it still borders on that realistic vibe, so I like that. But anyway, we're doing the living room. As you can see, we're finishing it up just about now, but I have added quite a lot of like detailing to the walls. Now this is kind of like a theme that I go for throughout the whole house, and when it gets to the bedrooms, I feel like they look a little bit more renovated, but keep in mind that the mum and the son have like just moved in, so their room is gonna look a little bit nicer just because they've been like renovating it a little bit more, especially because they have like a child moving in, so they're not wanting, you know, the place to be so run down. But also for the like granddad's bedroom, I feel like his bedroom looks a little bit more renovated as well, but I imagine that the mum like just spent a lot of time and doing it up for him and having it look really nice. And she's probably getting to other areas in the house slowly but surely. But yeah, I also added like a picture on the wall of what I assume is him and his wife, which I thought was so sweet. It kind of made me sad, but I thought that was so sweet. But yeah, I think we end up finishing up with the living room pretty soon, and then we move on to the kitchen, which I love how the kitchen turns out. It ends up kind of being like a quite a skinny long kitchen, and originally I was going to use the new like paneling, which if you don't know, we got this like new paneling with the base game update, which I love so much. But it looks very modern, and of course that is not the vibe we're kind of going for here, so I do end up switching that out, and I think it ends up looking a whole lot better. I also changed the color scheme of the cabinets as well. These are just base game cabinets, but yeah, I end up also switching them out a little bit. But I wanted to talk a little bit just quickly. Did you guys know that we're getting a new pack like very, very soon? I'm sure you probably did, but I realized I'd not spoken about it yet. If you don't know, on the 6th of March, I believe it is, we're supposed to be getting a pack which is business, like a business orientated pack. I believe it's going to be an expansion, if I'm not wrong. I think it's called like businesses and hobbies, something like that. And I don't even know, like I don't know what this is going to entail. I don't know what it's going to like change that's going to be like super different. I know a few things, like there's going to be like tattooing skills, and I know there's going to be something about like pottery skills is what I'd read up before. And I think maybe new commercial lots. In fact, something that I definitely had seen is that there's going to be like mixed lots, which is like a lot that functions as more than one lot. And oh my gosh, if you know me, you know I've been waiting for this for the longest time. I have like builds that I've made that would work so perfectly from this, like would work from this, because I've built them and they're not functional, but they would be. And oh my gosh, I can't contain my excitement. I really like, I know I'm saying I don't know what it's going to entail. What I mean is like beyond that, like what's it going to consist of? Is there going to be new community lots? Is there going to be like new things that you can build? Like things like that I'm unsure about. But yeah, I know that we can have like mixed community lots, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited for it. I really want to start building them already. I feel like that's something I could definitely do, because even like if it's not going to be functional right now, it's going to be functional very soon. So like I could definitely get started on a few. Let me know if you'd want to see that. I did do like a Tudor town before, and I love that build with all my heart. I think it's pinned on my profile, like on my Instagram, because it's one of my most favorite builds. But it's not functional at the moment, so please let me know if that's something you want to see. I'll probably end up doing it anyway, let's be honest, but I just thought I would mention it and ask your opinion. Oh, also something that I feel like I've not mentioned on here, I've definitely said it on like my community tab, but I've not said it on here. I did end up getting my like profile picture and my banner made, like remade, and I just want to say thank you so much to the person that did it, which their name is Lorenzo Farina, and if you go into my Instagram, which is iHanza YT, I have like tagged him in my posts, and you can also see that we have like a joint kind of post about like the designs that he made for me and like the art that he commissioned for me. Honestly, like I am so happy with them. I love it. I love the picture that I had before, but I just felt like it was time for like kind of like a rebrand, and I love how it looks. So yeah, definitely check him out if you want any art done, or yeah, just even if you just want to see like what my new kind of vibe is, please check it out. But he did such an amazing job, and yeah, just wanted to thank him over here as well. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about this house. So as you can see, we have finished up the kitchen, which I rambled all the way through. I'm so sorry, but it ended up just being this kind of like long skinny kitchen with, there's lots of like like clutter. There's like red appliances, which I thought was so fun. And then we have the laundry room here. So this is a laundry room. It's very simple. There's not too much going on. It's honestly very simplistic, but I just wanted like this little space to be made for laundry, just in case you wanted to play around with it. I know that some people do not like playing with laundry, and if that is the case, then of course you can do whatever you like. You can change that into something. I'm not too sure what you could make it, but like honestly, you could turn it into whatever you like. You could even make like that the bathroom and make this room something else. Completely up to you. But yeah, I decided to make it a little laundry room. And then here we have the bathroom. So this little room is so sweet. I did show me clutter in it. I don't think I've mentioned, but there does end up being a bathroom upstairs as well. So I don't show me doing that bathroom, but I do show me doing this one, and they follow like the same color scheme anyway, so there's not too much that you're missing out on. But you can see the second bathroom right now, and yeah, we end up moving on to the top floor. Now this is where the bedrooms end up being, and you can see that we're kind of limited in terms of space, so that is why also there ends up being 2 bedrooms. Now going back to the dynamic, yeah, so the son at the moment, he's only like 9, so I feel like him sharing a room is not too big a deal. But of course, as he gets older, you can decide what you want to do with the dynamic. You could definitely like expand like a little bit this house. I feel like there is room for that if you really wanted to. You could expand on like the right side, if you were to like remove that like swing piece. But yeah, I don't know. That's something that I didn't think about too deeply. But this is the mum and son's room, and I honestly love this room so, so much. Now, there does end up being like some rundown aspects, like I end up adding some details to the walls and etc., things like that. But I feel like it's not as run down as the rest of the house, which you'll probably notice. But yeah, as you can see, we've got a single bed, which is of course for like the 9-year-old boy, and then we've got a double bed, which is for the mum. And they do have a little divider, so there is privacy. I feel like the mum lets the son be in here the most. Like, I feel like she only really comes in here to go to bed. But this is like his space, more or less. So he can just kind of like chill in here whenever he likes. I think that she just doesn't really spend too much time in the room. I think she's more she's kind of busy with trying to sort out everything for her dad. She's trying to like, keep him company, get things done, like sit downstairs, keep him company. So yeah, she's not sitting in here a whole lot anyway, so I don't think it's like a big deal. That like, I don't think it bothers the son too much. And honestly, I think at this age he's just like, he loves being with his family, so he doesn't really care too much anyway. But yeah, this room is so cute. I love the whole vibe of it. I feel like it follows like such a nice vibe, like even though it's like kind of old fashioned, it's kind of old timey, it still feels very like young, and it's still, I don't know, it just like contrasts really well with the 2 dynamics going on in here. You'll have to let me know what you think, because honestly I'm a really big fan of this room. But I added this little like frog rug, which I thought was the cutest thing ever. But yeah, this bedroom, I'm just in love with it. I feel like it's so cluttered, but in the best way, and I just had so much fun with it. This is a build that I feel like I had so much fun with, and that's, I mean, I definitely have fun with all my builds, but I feel like because I've been doing a lot of my like base game save file at the moment, I've not been able to play around as much as I would like to with packs and with items. And yeah, I feel like because I'm so used to playing with base game now, I'm like, oh my gosh, like give me all the items, give me every item, I'm gonna use all of them. And I love it. I just love the feeling of being able to go crazy in here and do whatever. And yeah, I don't know, I just liked it. You'll have to let me know what kind of like builds you like to see from me the most. Like, I definitely want to do some more fantasy builds. As I say, I want to do some like multi, what is the word, like multi community lots, multi-use lots, I don't know, like, lots that have more than one lot happening, if that makes sense. So I want to do more like fantasy, more like multi-lots, more family homes, maybe more like realistic-ish ones like I have done today, because I honestly had so much fun doing this. Please just let me know. I am, oh, this is me adding the little details, but yeah, please just let me know, because yeah, I am so down, like, for whatever. You probably noticed me, by the way, like, struggle to pick a bed. I don't know why it took me so long to decide, but they just, none of them were vibing with me for some reason. But I did end up going with this one from Dream Home Decorator, which I think is such a sweet bed and not a bed that I use very often, so I quite liked it. But yeah, as you can see, the granddad's got a little bit of a basic room. He's not got too much going on, but as you can see, it does feel a little bit more brought to life than the rest of the house, which I really liked. I feel like he deserves that. I feel like they definitely made sure to kind of renovate his room first. But yeah, if you did want to play with this gameplay, please feel free to like tag me. Please feel free to like send me like anything to do with it. I don't know. I love, see, when I create dynamics like this, I love to see you playing with it. Or even if you create a different dynamic, I would still love to see it. But yeah, I feel like it would be so nice to be able to see that. And if you do want to play with gameplay, you can definitely like work through this as you go, like taking away the boxes from the outside, creating a more like clean, sleek look, a more like well cared for TLC vibe. But yeah, we are coming to the end of this video, so I do just want to say a massive thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, please make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and please feel free to follow me on my Instagram or join my Discord. All links are in the description, and please feel free to download this from the gallery. But I will see you all in the next one.